Welcome to Unlearning, where we go behind the curtain for an insider's perspective on the theater industry, break down the buzzworthy conversations on social media, and challenge the stigmas that hold us back. I'm Veronica Stern, and together we're unlearning and redefining what it means to thrive in the business. Now it's time to rewrite the script. Hello, wonderful people of the world, and welcome to the Unlearning podcast. Today we have a guest who is a new friend of mine. We kind of connected last year in the fall, and we'll talk about how that happened. Her name is Kate Coffey. She is a fellow musical theater girly, but she's also very interested in a million other things, which I think is so awesome. She has a podcast called Your Unlicensed Therapist, which she also will talk about during the show. And I can't wait for you all to hear this conversation. But before we do, let me tell you a little bit about my week. I filmed a self-tape yesterday. Whoa, I know, crazy talk. But I actually kind of had fun. And it was, was kind of what I was trying to get back to. So always a reminder that taking a little break can be good. This morning, woke up so early to go and watch my friends run in the New York City half marathon. I love marathon days. I do not run in them, but I run my mouth to make sure my friends feel awesome during that race. They always inspire me. I always feel like maybe I could run a marathon after I watch other people do it. Do I ever try? No. But the point is, you can do really hard things. All of my friends that have run in these things only started like a year and a half ago. So it's super inspiring. And that kind of leads perfectly into my conversation with Kate. So please, please, please enjoy this episode. And that's it. Here we go. How do you feel about solo podcasting? It's really hard.
I love to yap. I'm
Okay.
like a certified yapper girl.
Really?
I love it. But I do hate the part where it's like I have to like plan out the whole episode, and also like I'm terrified of filming myself because I'm literally reading off of my computer my
like your notes?
yeah, and
Okay.
I'm like terrified that it's going to like look really crazy.
If you like record yourself?
Yeah, I'm like afraid. It's also like when I don't memorize lines for
An audition.
and I have a teleprompter app, I'm always like hyper aware of where my eye line is.
Ooh, that is so real.
I think that's what freaks me out about
You know, I've never
it.
used a teleprompter app. I've tried,
Really?
and I just can never figure it out. And then I'm just like, okay, you know what? I'd rather just like either hold it or just like really quickly try to memorize it.
Yeah, I've gotten so much better at memorizing.
Really?
Like I can do it really fast now. I used to be terrified of it in college, but I did it for one audition because I like literally was like, I can't memorize this like 2-page monologue. I'm not doing it.
So I always credit my memorization skills to Latin class in high school and middle school, because what I would do is we would have these quizzes where it would just be like the words, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so right before the test, I would just memorize every single thing like super quickly. And then I would take the test because my teacher, rest in peace, Mr. Ryan.
Oh my God, is he dead?
Yeah, he died. He was old though. He was old.
Oh
He
my
was old.
God.
But the tests were always like literally just like straight from the book, like verbatim.
So it's just, like, easy.
So I was just like discipule, and then I would just like really quickly take the test so that it wouldn't like leave my brain. And now that's how I memorize.
So you do it right before.
No, I try not to do it right before, but like
Right.
the method of like, let me write this down. So like what I do is I like read it, say it, write it. If I can write it without looking, I know it.
Yeah, that's how I memorize.
Okay, yes.
But
But you take like actual time to like
I take
prepare.
a long time. Well, because I take like to prepare. Oh my God, to prepare sides. I'm not preparing sides. I literally am like, I get the sides.
Yeah.
I literally memorize maybe an hour before I record.
Wait,
Probably. That's probably what I do.
I made a TikTok yesterday because I had to film something.
Mm-hmm.
I filmed an audition yesterday.
Oh my God, she's back in
No.
the game. Oh, never mind.
Well, I don't know. It was one audition, guys. I don't know.
Don't stress her out. Don't stress
I'm
her out.
stressed. No, but yeah, so I filmed something yesterday. But what was I gonna say about it? Oh, I made a TikTok and I was like, hey guys, why does casting send pre-recorded tracks and not
Plunks?
Yeah, well no. Why don't they send reader tracks?
Oh.
Because my big thing with self-taping is this. I literally hate it. It's bane of my existence.
Yeah, it's awful.
It literally makes me want to quit. But if they would just send a track of somebody like reading the lines, it would make me feel like a little bit better. Because whenever I get sides, I'm like, who am I going to have read this for me? Like,
yeah.
I mean, I call my friends, but I feel bad. And then I'm like on their time. It's so annoying.
It's also like, I feel like getting somebody from casting to read the lines, you would understand like the tone of the show. Maybe
right.
that especially if it's a new work.
Right.
Or like the direction they're trying to like bring it in.
Right. So I said this on TikTok and I was like, hey, like, does anybody agree that like casting, if they send the pre-recorded piano tracks for like singing, they should send somebody reading the lines? Like, what's the big deal? And so many people were like, oh, well, this takes away from like the acting part, and like if you have to like time
pacing?
Yourself with the pacing. I was like, it's not that serious, first of all.
For a self-tape, it's not that serious.
And also like you could say the same for the music.
You could. That's actually, I never thought about it like that, because there are like tracks, because there are moments in music where you're supposed to like hold for the performer.
Yeah.
And like see how long they take.
Right. And I'm like, I'm literally
that.
singing this song to the timing of this track. What's the difference if I like
I never thought about it like that. You just blew my brain.
Honestly.
I never even thought, like, I was also thinking like, wait, what about like the timing? And then I was like, wait, we literally do that.
Yeah, exactly.
Already. We already do that.
Please send a reader track.
Wait. Hey, send a reader track, please, so I don't have to burden my friends.
Yeah, I'm sick of burdening my friends. And also yesterday, I wouldn't say I stooped low, but I did open photo booth and like read the lines to myself. Like I read the other side and then I like recorded it. It was honestly the easiest it's ever been.
I feel like that because then you can just do it all by yourself, because that's the point of a self.
Yes.
I hate self-tapes. I hate them. I hate them so bad. They're never going anywhere, but I really hate them.
Okay, let's get into this. So Kate, for people that don't know how we met, you slid into my DMs.
I did.
Crazy.
That was crazy.
Wait, did you know me before that, or were you just like, oh, this girl has similar? I want to like talk to her.
I knew of you.
Oh, really? That's crazy.
I think I knew of you because when the cast announcement came out for the Anastasia tour, your beautiful perfect headshot was at the top, and I remember being like, who is that diva? Who is that diva? I feel like whenever there's a lead of a national tour, you're like, wait, who is it?
That's
because there was a lot of like, we've talked about it before, and you're like, I don't really know what was going on at that. You were like, I didn't understand what was happening. You just kind of did it.
Yeah, I've spoken about that before. It was crazy times. Like the fact that it was also like 3 years ago at this point is actually crazy to me.
Oh my God. So I did know who you were from that.
And also like we have some mutuals. We
have mutuals. Like your little is one of my.
Wait, who?
Wofford, Jake.
Oh, that's right.
Jake Wofford. Love you. We did Jersey Boys together last year. Yeah. And so I feel like he mentioned your name a couple. Like I've always like known of.
Gotcha.
And then I think I did slide into your DMs. Well, because we had like similar interests. Yeah. And I could like tell we had similar energy like pretty immediately. Yeah. Just from social media. If you like look at our Instagram side by side, you're like, they are the same.
Who is this girl I see?
Who is this girl I see staring straight back at me? Like I slid in because I was like, wait, what?
No, I love that though. I love that confidence, and honestly, that's like given me the confidence to just like slide into people's DMs when I like want to just talk to them. Yes, honestly, because I was like, first of all, the worst thing that could happen is it sits in their requests and they never see it, right?
100%.
The best thing that could happen is, hey, yeah, you know what? I really respect that this person like reached out to me. Yeah. And like, let's connect.
I love that did that for you.
Yeah.
I love meeting new people, especially people that like seem like normal. Our industry, there's a lot of crazy cuckoo banana people out there. Yeah. And you seem normal. And I said, she seems normal and nice, and she probably has something cool to say. Let's chat.
So it was so funny. So I was like, I don't know, like I have a newfound respect for people that just like reach out, because I feel like in this day and age, it's like we're so not parasocial with each other, but we're just so like.
No, we are.
Yeah, I guess we are. Like we see somebody, but like we don't necessarily like reach out and connect with them. So like I was like, yeah, let's chat, let's do it. And then we like we zoomed.
We zoomed. It was so official.
It was so official. Oh my God. I was like, so what would you like to know?
Literally like, hi, I'm Kate.
Yes.
And then we zoomed, and then we chatted, and then think we got coffee after that.
Matcha.
We should get matcha.
Yeah. Because famously, your last name is Coffey, but you're allergic to coffee.
I am allergic to coffee. Isn't that so crazy? The universe or God or whatever the heck is up there is like, thought it was really making a funny joke when it made my last name and made me, because they were like, let's make her allergic to coffee, but let's give her the last name of Coffey, because isn't that hilarious?
Has that like haunted you your whole life?
Oh my God, yeah.
I'm
People
sure.
make jokes about it. I mean, at this point, it's funny. Like when I was little, I feel like I got insecure, because when you're insecure about everything, when you're like 7 and someone's laughing at you.
Right.
But now I'm like, no, it's in my Instagram bio. Like I fully think it's
like
hilarious.
it's embrace it, make it your brand, make it your entire
100%.
persona.
If I can't change it, what am I gonna do? Like what am I gonna talk to my body? Be like, hey, can you like stop doing that? That's like really inconvenient.
Wow,
to
that's
me.
actually wild. Is anybody else in your family allergic?
No.
Oh, that's funny.
It's just me.
Huh.
Also, nobody else in my family has allergies.
Oh.
Like it's literally, I'm allergic to tomatoes.
Oh, so like acidic things.
Yeah, mostly.
Okay, that's
tomatoes, coffee, and there's another one, and I'm blanking on it, and that's really bad.
Okay, so you're a fellow actor.
Yes.
And how have you been feeling? What have your vibes been? I know we haven't chatted in a bit, but like how have things been going for you?
Things are, I mean, this audition season has been
nuts, I've heard.
Like just bad.
Wait,
vibes.
can you tell me why? I've honestly been a little bit out of the loop, and
that's for the best, for your mental sanity. I think.
But like I've just been seeing like on TikTok people being like, "This is the worst audition season ever." There's like lists. There's people rioting at Pearl Studios.
I think it's like honestly, it's just there's such a high volume of actors right now because of Equity's open access.
Oh, is that what it is?
It's a part of that, and it's also the non-union. It's both. Like, so I'm in the union, and I joined last summer, and it was a great decision for me. Like, I just love I wasn't going to EPAs and ECCs as a non-union member. I wasn't doing it. I knew I wasn't going to do it. So I wasn't going to, because I'm not getting up at 3:00 in the morning to put my name on for the Heather's non-union list. I'm not doing that.
Wait, is Heather's non-union?
No, it's not.
Oh, okay.
It's union. It's off Broad. But like,
okay. I wasn't
sure. The non-union were girling at that, apparently. They didn't see anyone non-union. Okay. And I was like, I just don't want to waste my whole day sitting in Pearl Studios, twiddling my thumbs in the hopes that I get seen, having my face beat from 4:00 in the morning. Like, heck no, I'm not doing that.
Right.
So yeah, it's just been a lot of like lines, and then the non-union community is, I don't know what's happening. I was literally just them. It feels so weird to be like, when I was non-union.
Yeah.
Like there's this virtual list that somebody tried to do.
The new list?
Yeah, the new list.
I saw that. I was very intrigued.
It was on Callback Corner, another one of my favorite social media platforms.
My favorite social media platform. Wait, I used to love Callback Corner.
I still love it.
I just don't check it as much anymore.
It's kind of fun when you're not a part of a process.
Yes.
To like check what's going on.
Yes.
In the new Callback Corner, like chat forum, people were like fighting about the list. The non-union. Yes.
The new list.
The new list.
The NU list.
The NU list.
Whoa.
Like people were fighting about it. And it was like, I just found it amusing. I was like, this is really funny. And also, guys, it's not that serious. Like, it's really not that serious.
My whole thing has always been this. If one person decides not to go at 4:30 a.m., that's all it takes. Like, this 4:30 a.m. thing is like people having this mentality that like somehow that helps. Like,
and it doesn't.
Everybody can just show up when the call starts because it starts at that time. Like, nothing happens before that.
No, you're sitting outside waiting.
And it's also like 8th Avenue is literally scary.
Oh, it's
like
frightening.
The fact that like young people are standing out there is, I'm like, no, please stop doing that.
Please don't. It's like bad. Also, like in the middle of winter.
Crazy.
Whoever decided audition season was in the middle of winter,
like
I'm
January.
Coming for you, because that is evil. You deserve prison. Like literally, like that's so it's just been a lot of that, and like people ripping down lists, people getting there like the night before and like putting up non-union lists at 10 p.m. like it's just really crazy. And it's like, I think there's also like a shortage of jobs, and I think people, which I so understand, there's like a shortage of jobs, there's a shortage of all of that. And
okay, I've been wondering about this too, like the shortage of jobs thing. Because people are doing smaller shows, because the shows are pre-cat. Like, why is that happening?
I wish I could tell you. I think it's a mix of all of it.
I mean, there's always been like more people than shows, obviously.
Always, yeah.
But I don't
know either. I think also like open access really screwed up equity because now equity doesn't really mean anything because you can just join whenever. Like you can join when you have any professional credit. From anywhere. It could be from you could be from a cruise ship. It can be from you did a Broadway show. It can be from you did a tour. It can be from you did a dinner cabaret theater.
Right.
Like it could be anything that you have a pay stub for. Like literally anything.
Right.
And I think that just like takes I hate to say this, but it takes the professionalism away from it a little bit because it delegitimizes it.
Do you think?
I think it kind of does. It doesn't
because
really
people aren't like putting
anything
in their hours anymore.
No, it's like not earned. And not that I think having healthcare is not something you need to earn. Like I think you deserve healthcare and you deserve all of the benefits that come with equity, especially on a contract. Like being on an equity contract is what the bare minimum should be for actors. Like the non-union, I understand why people do it because it's less money and they can hire more people and whatever. But I just am like, but we're not protecting those actors.
Right.
And yeah, I think it's just because there's so many people. And now at EPAs and ECCs, I kind of am like, when we're going in, I wonder if it affects how casting looks at us because it's like, there's no like vetting process anymore for EPAs and ECC, like for equity anymore. You don't have to have built up your hours in EMC or anything.
I don't know. I'm like 50-50 on that argument because it's kind of like if you book one Broadway show, you join the union.
Yeah.
And so I don't know. It's so hard. It's so hard because I think open access is good because you should be the barriers that were up before with like joining the union were kind of like not elitist is not the right word, but it was just kind of like
too high.
These like roadblocks and like this idea that you have to like break your back and all this stuff.
Yeah.
So it's so hard, but it's crazy that like people are equating like that to I mean like the queues and stuff, like the waiting lines and the EPAs like and the ECCs.
1,000 people. Yeah. I'm like, this can't be right. Like,
so now it feels like you have to have an agent to really get ahead.
You need an agent.
Because you need to be able to get appointments
to compete. You do.
Interesting.
You really do. And I don't know what else. I think it's also like a little bit of this. There's a little bit of this work smarter, not harder that I've found really works is like getting in front of the casting directors in classes, which not everybody has the means and opportunity to do. But if you can do it, it's really important. It's really good for you to you go to this class. They unleash all of their expertise.
Right.
These people in casting are so smart and they know what they're talking about. And it's so great to sit there for 2 hours. And even if you're not working with you directly, you're still learning from watching other people go. And also you create a personal relationship with them. And I think that's like the code is to create a personal relationship.
Well, it's networking. It's how like any 100%. Other industry works. Like you go to networking events, you pay for these conferences, you do these things. But for some reason in this industry, like we don't have that as much. It's really like pay to play because I'm trying to think like, I guess some people could say like going to ECCs and getting seen there is networking.
Like somewhat.
Because it's like, oh, I go to the Notebook ECC and like maybe something will come of that. But there's not a lot of opportunity to like, and maybe I'm like literally talking out of my ass right now and I don't know what I'm talking about. But like I'm trying to think like there aren't
it's really just
opportunities to network unless you go to college.
Unless you go to college or unless you take these classes.
And unless you like showcase and then like a bunch of people see your stuff. But yeah, I mean, I guess like the thing is now like social media.
That's a big part of it too. That's a question that they get asked a lot. I've noticed that's a question that people like, how do people feel about having a social media presence? Like, you know, the influencers.
Oh, yeah.
Like their theater, there's like a whole sector of girlies that get a lot of work because they are theater influencers, and it's not because a lot of them do like
theater work.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well, I don't think it's because of their influence. I think that they're talented on their own, but I think it does help. It's visibility.
Well, it's visibility. It's followers, and the followers actually mean something.
Yeah.
Like
that's like a butt in a seat.
Yes, and so good for them. Honestly, they're putting in the work to establish their presence on social media. But were you saying that casting directors are asking about numbers?
No. So people are asking, like, because during these classes, you get to ask them questions at the end. There's like a 30-minute Q&A at the end. And you can ask them whatever you want. And some, like I've taken classes with a few of them and each one has their own style.
Yeah.
But kind of the consensus I've I've found from the question being, how do you feel about having a social media presence? Both like generally speaking and also like trying to become an influencer and trying to become like formidable on theater, TikTok, on theater, Instagram, whatever that means. And it's I not for me, but I love that people do it. Yeah, it's very entertaining for me. Yeah. They say you have to have a social media presence, like you have to have a front facing. You know, you have to have an Instagram. You have to have these things. Yeah, because that's how they look you up. That's how they vet that you're like a real, breathing, functioning human being.
Are you serious?
Yes. Well, that's how we do that normally.
No,
in life.
I know, but like, it's funny because I feel like when I was in college, people would ask that question and it would just go over the casting director's head or like whoever came in. It would just like go over their head.
Times have changed
so much and so quickly.
I think the pandemic really is the reason. I mean, it's the reason for everything. But
well, right. That makes sense.
But I think it's...
But now you're saying that like casting directors are literally like, no, like girl, like get on social media.
Yeah, not in the sense that they want you to be like becoming a TikTok influencer, but because they want you on social media so that they can like they have another point of contact. They have another point of like seeing who you are. Because ultimately, when you're hiring somebody, and you know this, like when you're hiring someone, that's someone that's going to be in the office with you, of course, 5 days a week. That's somebody that's going to be in the rehearsal room with you 10 hours a day. Right. You're stuck in a dressing room. You want to make sure this is a good person that has like that's normal. Right. And a lot of what we as a society equate to normal is having a social media presence. So I think that's how they're doing it. I know. I mean, it makes sense.
I'm like, my brain can't handle that because I'm like, I know that there's the argument that like, oh, they shouldn't be looking at social media and specifically the followers thing.
Oh, no, but they're not looking for that.
That would be crazy.
They don't care about that.
Like, oh, this person has 21,000 followers. No. This person has 12. Like, I'm going to cast which one. Like, that doesn't happen.
That doesn't happen.
There's no way.
And the way that and that's the second part of the question is like, do you want us to be like promoting ourselves like that? And they're like, well, you should absolutely be posting your videos of you singing if you're proud of it. Right. Like, but also like, we want to see that you like have a life, that you're like a good person, like a living, breathing human being that has good mental health and like has friends and like is going out and living your life, because ultimately that's what adds to the piece that we're telling. And also we want to hire a living, breathing human being. Right. So I think that's what they want more, is like not in the sense of like cater it to us, but like use social media, like use it. It's good. It's a tool for you. It's a tool to use. But they're like, don't take it so far as to think that we want only influencers in our projects. Like, don't take it so far as to be like, I need 80,000 followers in order to like be in the regional production of Legally Blonde. Like, that's not what they want. And the same thing for Broadway. No. Like, I don't think it's that. I do think that Broadway is in a era right now where a stunt cast is very popular.
I don't think... But the thing is, though, like, these Broadway shows are not utilizing social media as much as they could.
And therein lies the issue.
It's
the marketing of it all. But there are some shows that do it super well.
Which ones? Like, I'm wondering which ones you think.
I think Death Becomes Her does such a great job on social media.
Okay, true. They had a trending sound.
They had a trending sound.
Huge.
And so hard. Yeah. And also, like, I just think all of their marketing materials are really like cohesive and really. Have you seen Death Becomes Her?
Not yet. Have you?
It's amazing. I thought in previews I loved it.
Okay.
It's Megan Hilty and Jennifer Simonard, I think I'm pronouncing that correctly, are giving the performance of a lifetime. Like, it's so good and so fun. It's very like for the gays, the girls, the gays, and the gays. Like, that's the energy. Okay. And it's colorful and it's funny and it's like whatever. And so, but I think their social media and their media package, at least that's the kind of media campaign that I really gravitate towards, one that is cohesive and aesthetic and makes sense and tells me something about the show. Like, when I saw the show and what I see on social media is congruent. Like, they're the same. There are other shows, like, who else do I think does a good, like, Anne Juliet does a good job. I think Hamilton does a good job. I think Wicked does a good job. Like,
I don't see anything from Wicked. I only see Mary-Kate's stuff, which feels like separate, but also kind of.
I think that they were using it as a part of it. I mean, I don't know. I don't know anything about that marketing campaign.
Yeah, I just think it's like interesting because I feel like in Hollywood, right? And it's obviously different because when you release a movie or a TV show, you have a press tour. Yeah. And like, that's the time that they go on all the podcasts and they do all of the things. But on Broadway, they don't necessarily like have that period of time where they have to like, where they're promoting. Well, I mean, they do and they don't, because all of these people go on the talk shows and, you know, Nicole Scherzinger sings you know, on Good Morning America and the Today Show and all the late night shows. But I just don't feel like they're hitting Gen Z.
Some of them are and some of them aren't. Like, I feel like Sunset has, and I think Death Becomes Her has. And the reason why Sunset did is because of that, him walking down the street.
Yes.
Like,
I was going to say, like, everybody knows about that.
Well, everyone knows about that, and everyone knows about Nicole Scherzinger.
Right.
Like, come on.
But, like, why don't... And that's, like, why I wanted to start this podcast, because I was like, well, I really want to watch, like, Nicole Scherzinger. And, like, obviously, like, that would be a dream. Like, Nicole, come on the pod.
Nicole, Sunset Boulevard.
Right here.
Right. Actually perform it for us right here.
Actually, yes.
This is the perfect place for her to perform Sunset Boulevard.
But, like, I want to watch Nicole Scherzinger talk about anything but Sunset Boulevard for, like, 45 minutes. But it all kind of comes back to it. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
it makes you think about it.
Right. I want to, like, get to know these people.
Yes.
And I feel like we don't know anybody.
Yes. Okay, wait. So I went to... okay, this is me outing myself publicly on your podcast. I don't like plays.
Okay, fair enough.
I don't like plays. And I say this, or I've historically not liked plays. I'm becoming more of a play connoisseur.
Did you always, like, fall asleep?
Yes.
Same.
I got really bored. I feel so bad. I love a little song and a little dance. I'm sorry, I do.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
And if I'm sitting in a play and you're not singing, I'm bored.
Plays are hard. Plays are hard.
Unless they're really good. Like,
Unless they're
Stereophonic
funny.
was amazing.
Okay, but Stereophonic had music.
Yeah, I know, but it's a play, right? Yeah, that's still a play.
Supposedly.
I am not a Shakespeare girl. Like, but I did love Romeo and Juliet.
Oh, I didn't see
with
that.
Kit and Rachel. It was really great.
But there was also music.
So, okay, what we're hearing is Kate needs music in a play. So if you're producing a play and you want me to come, put music in it.
Right.
But so I went to this variety breakfast, and they were doing, like, the Business of Broadway breakfast.
Oh, really? That's
which
fun.
is so fun.
And
it's
interesting.
So cool.
Yeah.
And I was there as a guest, and they had a bunch of panels with a bunch of this season's Broadway shows, or at the time there was, like, Yellowface did one, and Sunset Boulevard did one, and then Our Town did one. And I didn't even know that was reviving on Broadway. I had no idea that was happening.
Interesting.
With what's his name, Jim Parsons, and Zoe Deutsch.
Yes.
And Katie Holmes.
That's
and,
right.
like,
that's right.
And Ephraim Sykes, and, like, all of these, like, great actors that I know and love the work of. And they came up on the panel, and I had no intention of seeing Our Town, like, no intention. And then you get to know the actors and you get to see how much the piece means to them. And that's why I wanted to go see the show. Because ultimately what you just said is, like, I want to get to know who's in the show.
Right.
Because that makes me care about you and that makes me want to go see it. And ultimately that's going to make me like your show more. Like,
interesting. I feel like I'm seeing it a little bit more. Like, these shows are becoming more open to it. But there's also this, I hate saying this so much. There's this weird mentality about Broadway that because it's 8 shows a week and you're giving yourself over to this, you can't do anything else.
I hate that mentality too.
And so, yes, I completely understand that. But I think that these shows would really benefit from, like, throwing these people on a podcast and having
just
them
chatting.
talk about the show.
It doesn't even have to be the leads.
Yes.
It can be the swings. It can be the
that's
understudies.
so
it
interesting.
I would love to hear about what the swings on Anne Juliet do. I would love to talk to those girls. I would love to talk to Caroline Bowman and hear about what was, like, understudying for Nicole Scherzinger.
Totally.
And not even talk about Smash. Like,
totally.
It's more, it's like, because as humans, we want to connect and we want to understand.
Yep. And so I'm interested to see where that goes, because I'm starting to see that more and more with, like, bigger shows and, like, in their thing, they're making that a part of it. Like, even honestly, Nick Jonas and Adrienne Warren going on The Tonight Show.
Yeah.
I feel like that doesn't always happen.
No.
And that was interesting to me, and that I've already wanted to see it, but, like, I just, that idea that we're, like, getting to know the people that are in the show.
It makes you care.
Totally.
It's why, like, honestly, bringing it all the way back to, like, high school. When I was in the high school shows, I had a lot of friends that didn't like theater, didn't know anything about theater. But the reason they came was for me. Because they knew me and they cared about me and they wanted to see me live out a story on stage. Because ultimately that's what it is for the average theater goer. It's like you want to go see Hamilton because it's Hamilton,
right,
or it's because you're going because you know somebody. Like, I'm always, energized to go to a show if I know somebody that's in it.
Totally.
Even if I wasn't planning on going.
Right.
But, like, it also makes me think about, like, how people are reaching those like markets of people that don't normally come to Broadway, because we have friends that work on Broadway, so obviously we're gonna go,
right?
But what
we
about
also
the
are
people?
like from New York and like the city and like the vibes of like what it is,
We
you know?
we like get that
Yeah.
energy, but it's about like making people understand who all these people are.
Yeah.
It'll make people want to see it more, at least
Totally.
I think.
Yeah.
And I think marketing agencies and social media and all of that stuff, they should really capitalize on that. Like have your understudies go to a podcast. Like,
yeah, I think they definitely are starting to do that, because I'm seeing like influencers like being invited to like theater things, which is fun. It's nice to see that actors that are like actively doing it are also a part of that, because I feel like sometimes what happens with the theater world is it's like fans of, and I think the angle of like actor being a part of it, but also like being an influencer, being able to like interview people and like knowing what that life is like is really interesting.
So cool. It's fascinating. It's why we make them celebrities, because we think it's fascinating.
Right.
Like, it's also thinking about Variety does the actors on actors thing, which I'm like, I wish Broadway people would do that. That's so sickening.
I wish they would do that. Oh my God. Can you imagine Audra McDonald and Nicole Scherzinger?
I would watch that for repeatedly for days. Like, or doing swings on swings. Like have
swings
like
on swings
a swing from Wicked talk to a swing from I don't know, Moulin Rouge. And like because those are two vastly different shows.
Right.
Have them talk to each other. What's different? What's the same?
Yeah.
What are their journeys? Like, I just like watching people talk about what they love to do and what they do so well. And like, you could do swings on swings, understudies on understudies, leads on leads, like, or leads on understudies. Like,
don't give all of your ideas away,
I know,
Kate. Oh my gosh, somebody's gonna steal that.
Well, honestly, do it, please. Somebody do it. I'd watch
honestly,
it.
true,
like,
true.
I'm not doing it, but I would watch it. Like watching Nicole Scherzinger. Hello,
Scherzinger.
Say that 5 times fast. Nicole Scherzinger interview her standby, like having her and Mandy Gonzalez talk to each other about their different, like, that's so interesting.
That would be really cool.
And I think it would help the show, because you're like, that's so cool. And also it would make people less inclined to not go to a show if she's not in, because if it's like Mandy or Caroline or whoever, they'd be like, oh, but I heard her talk about it and I actually would be really interested to see what she does. Because people will like not go to shows.
Should we open a marketing agency for Broadway?
We're doing it.
Honestly, right now.
It would be crazy. Let me get some experience under my belt. Okay. And then we can we can go there.
Speaking of experience, you have a podcast.
I do have a podcast.
Let's talk about that.
Oh my God, okay.
How long ago did you start your podcast?
I started it a year ago with one of my best friends.
Oh, that's
and then
right.
She, I love her, hates to be perceived. And I so get it.
Podcasting probably is not for her then.
Not for her. She's not a public facing girl. It's like not her thing.
Okay.
She was in theater. She left theater. She's now getting she's going back to school for speech therapy.
Oh my God, good for her.
Because anyway, I love her. And so she and I started it together because when we, like you and I, like when we yap, we have lots to say. And it's like like people were like, you should have a podcast. And we were like, oh my God, maybe. And so we both also have a history with like mental health, and like it's really important. It's like one of my cornerstones of life. And so we came up with EXO, Your Unlicensed Therapists. And so we started it then, and then she was slowly kind of leaving the theater industry and was like, I'm not into this anymore. And so we took a hiatus, and I was trying to like figure out what this meant.
Right.
And so I just relaunched in January of me alone.
Yay.
I haven't put out an episode in 2 weeks because I've been waiting for us to chat here. And it's been really cool, but hard. It's really hard to like work for yourself. It's like a very weird thing.
It's a very weird thing. It takes a lot of like self-starting because I think you're the same as me, but like I have some help. Thanks. But I do edit like all of the social clips, and like it's the episode that we record, but then there's also like how do people hear it, and like how do people like
social media.
So there's a lot that goes into it. But you talk about mental health, and I really like when you talk about like being a 20-something and being like in this industry sometimes, and I think it's like such a good podcast. I love it, and it's very calming. You have a very calming cadence about it.
Oh my gosh, thank you. I think it's like in this episode you're gonna hear me speak a little like crazier because it's an actual conversation versus like when I'm talking to myself I like talk like this, and then I don't know why I have a podcast voice. It's very weird.
No, I love it.
Turn it on.
I love it. And it's so nice to hear you talk about these things so openly and be like, hey guys, like this happened and like this is how I dealt with it, because you realize like, oh, you're not as alone as you think you are. So
no, that's honestly why that was like the impetus for it.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's why I did it. And I'm a very open person. I'm not somebody that like will gatekeep something if I learned a lesson.
Right.
And also the point of it also is I'm learning along with you. Like I'm learning all this stuff as well. I'm not sitting here as like the Mel Robbins guru of it all. Like,
do you like her?
I do.
Okay, I don't.
That's okay. I like what she has to say.
I liked
don't
parts
like
of it. I was just like, I don't think I would listen to her podcast.
There's some, I'll send you one that I think you would really like.
Okay, please.
There's like one that actually I think you would really like.
Okay, thank you.
I don't listen to it like religiously.
Yeah.
But I also read the Let Them Theory, which is changing my life. By
really?
The way. Oh,
that's what everybody says.
Because it's amazing. That and Big Magic by Elizabeth Gilbert.
Okay,
will change your life.
Read that.
Big Magic more so than Let Them.
Okay.
Big Magic, I think, for you specifically, because I know you specifically. Although I did recommend a book to Veronica like 2 months ago, and she texted me at like midnight, crashing out. She was like, "Why would you recommend this to me?"
That was
yeah. It's a great book.
It's such a good book,
but it's a lot because we're both in our
mid
late 20s almost, which is really terrible. It's called what is it?
The Defining Decade.
The Defining Decade. So read it if you really want to crash out. But it's a good book.
No, it's very good. I just thought it was going to be different, and then it took a turn, and I was like,
I think if you read the next one, you'll like it better.
Okay.
I think I said that to you. I was like, read the next one.
Yeah.
Big Magic is not scary. Like Big Magic is not about to be like, you need to freeze your eggs. Like that's not, which is what that book does tell you to do.
I do love psychology books in general, so that's also probably why I like your podcast.
That's also the reason why I like love speaking about that kind of stuff. Like I just put on an episode. My last episode was about a friendship breakup that I had, and it was a very vulnerable episode. So thank you for saying that you like the vulnerability.
I do.
I'm glad
I think
that it works.
That's what
terrifying
works. That's
for me.
what people want to hear. They don't want to hear you talk. And I think that's something I'm trying to work on with my podcast, because I have the mentality of like, you can't speak poorly about things, and you can't say your opinion and da-da-da-da. So I'm just trying to get better at that, because like I want to be able to talk about it, and I think it's important that we talk about it.
It is, because it makes you be a human.
I have one question that I ask every guest on my show.
Okay.
What does success look like to you now, and how has that changed since you have like kind of been in the industry for a little bit and you've had some time to like suss things out?
I love that question. I love that question. Wow, that's the question my therapist would have for me. And every time she asks, I'm like, I don't know, girl. I'm still working it out. I think when I was younger, when I first started, I viewed this industry as like a one-way street. I viewed it as a like, you just move forward and you just hit all the benchmarks and you get to Broadway. And that's what you do. You take the classes, you meet all the casting directors, you go to auditions. Like that's what it is. And I think I imagined like, well, you get on Broadway immediately and then like right out of school. Like that's what do you mean? That's what you do. That's what you do, right? Crickets. And I think that's what I viewed it as for a really long time. And I also viewed, because there's that age-old rhetoric that if you have a plan B, if you could do anything else, do that. Don't ever do this. And I think that really made me feel very trapped. But it's like a cult. Like I was like, I have to believe this. And then now I think it's not a one-way street. It's a two-way street. And also there are multiple detours along the way. Like it's just like you can move away for a little bit and come back, or move away and never come back. It's like it's really like you have autonomy more than you think you do. And I think at the time when I was younger, I was so dying for casting agents, directors, everyone to just tell me who I was and tell me that I was good. And now it's more like, no, I get to tell you who I am, and I have the autonomy to decide what I do and how I do it and when I do it. And I think there's a little bit of power that I've put back into myself. And I think the success question is like, I think that is being successful, is like keeping your mental sanity in check, and also understanding that it's not linear. This is not a linear thing we're doing. And if you're in college right now and you're listening to this, like it's not linear. You're going to have so many bumps in this road. There are going to be so many moments where you're questioning what you're doing. You're having a crash out. You're freaking out, and you may decide to leave, and that's okay. You may come back or you may not. Like, I think that that's what success truly looks like, is like maintaining your mental sanity and like understanding that this is a marathon, not a sprint. And if you decide you want to stay, you stay. And if not, that's okay. And that you're still successful even if you decide to leave. Like you're still That I think would be my long-winded way of answering what that looks like now.
I love that. I love just the idea that like it's so malleable and just because you decide one thing it's not like this way success, this way failure. It's just kind of like not as like black and white as maybe we thought it once was.
I wish it was black and white, but unfortunately it's not.
It's very colorful.
It's very colorful, and some of the colors are really beautiful and some of them are god awful and terrible, and you never want to see them again. But you will.
You will.
Oh, but you will, because that is just the nature of what we do.
Right. Well, Kate, tell everyone where they can find you on socials and things.
On socials and things. Well, first of all, thank you for having me.
Oh
this is so fun.
Thank you for coming.
Oh, I walked in here today and I said,
my set.
I love her set.
The studio.
And I love you. And I love chatting with you. It's so fun.
Hearts.
And so for me, it's at Kate P. Coffey on Instagram. My podcast. Right? At XO, your unlicensed therapist. And I'm on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. And yeah, Veronica and I are recording an episode.
Like
for that.
So I'll be on her podcast and she'll be on mine, and then you listen to both.
And then you must listen to both.
Yeah.
You can't listen to one without the other.
Because the conversation continues. Oh, yeah, I just thought of that.
It does. The conversation does continue.
So thank you all for watching, and we will see you guys next time. Bye. Thank you so much for watching my conversation with Kate. I hope that you enjoyed it as much as I did. Please be sure to follow me on socials at Veronica Stern and at That Mixed Chick NYC on TikTok. We will see you all next time. Bye. We're just girls gabbing.
Girls gabbing.
That's a really good name for a podcast.
It is just girls gabbing.
Yeah.